I would definitely say it was probably a pop star. I think I thought I felt I had that it factor and I'd convinced myself of it fully, but I didn't quite reach that goal. I'm a corporate lawyer with Siemens Canada, so I do a variety of corporate legal work for the company. So I don't think there was a specific point. It was more so that I had the type of parents where they said you can be anything you want to be as long as it's a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. And that was just how, that was the message that I grew up with. So I always thought those were the prestigious, good jobs to have. And when I left, graduated from Western, when I finished Ivy, the jobs that were available at the time just didn't seem to match the stature of those jobs. So I felt like, okay, I should go to law school because if I'm gonna work this hard and be successful, that's the path to take. Typically you think of law and I think people say I'm good at arguing, so I'll be a good lawyer. I have very strong interpersonal skills, I feel, and I also have felt that I can be a good advocate for myself, I can be persuasive. There's things that I've just noticed throughout life that I've been able to do with a lot of ease, but do well. And that's kind of how you know what you're good at. So just from the context and the hearsay, it seemed like law would be a naturally easy fit for me. So that was part of the reason. Well, the first roadblock was probably after first year. I came home and I was traditionally a very high achieving student. I had gotten into Ivy, I'd gotten early acceptance, and I had to have good grades for that. But first year was just a lot of fun, but it was hard. It was a different style of learning, a different environment, and my marks were not good at all. And I came home and I think my parents were a bit dismayed. And I was also in the position where I had to somehow achieve this 80 average over 2 years to maintain my status at Ivy. So it really became this moment where I had to buckle down in second year and almost get an over 90 average in university, which was very challenging, just to make up for the first year that I'd had. And that was kind of a character-defining moment, but a huge roadblock because it felt like it was nearly impossible at the time. The best thing that I would recommend to anyone is talk to people. I had mentors that I sought out. I had mentors that I developed from programs, mentorship programs. And it started early. If I heard someone knew a lawyer, a family friend, or this or that, I'd get in touch with them and talk to them about it. If there was a Western alumni, for example, and I was able to kind of get in touch with them, I'd talk to them about it. Basically, anybody who would talk to me who was in law, I was going to talk to them. And that was hugely helpful because you'll meet people who kind of gloss over things, but then you meet people who really are honest with you. And it's those people who help the most. The people who say, you know, it's not that glamorous being up all night or working on a deal at 3 a.m. And that stuck with me and it kind of percolated somewhere in my mind. Whether I listened to that advice or not, I always was thinking about it. So that was really helpful, and that's the best way to learn because you kind of navigate yourself and you see yourself in other people. So you can see someone who's similar to you and it helps you realize if you could kind of be successful in that career path. The best thing that I would recommend to anyone is talk to people. I had mentors that I sought out. I had mentors that I developed from programs, mentorship programs, and it started early. If I heard someone knew a lawyer, a family friend, or this or that, I'd get in touch with them and talk to them about it. If there was a Western alumni, for example, and I was able to kind of get in touch with them, I'd talk to them about it. Basically, anybody who would talk to me who was in law, I was going to talk to them. And that was hugely helpful because you'll meet people who kind of gloss over things, but then you meet people who really are honest with you. And it's those people who help the most. The people who say, you know, it's not that glamorous being up all night or working on a deal at 3 a.m. And that stuck with me and it kind of percolated somewhere in my mind. Whether I listened to that advice or not, I always was thinking about it. So that was really helpful, and that's the best way to learn because you kind of navigate yourself and you see yourself in other people. So you can see someone who's similar to you, and it helps you realize if you could kind of be successful in that career path. So then I reached this goal and I'm at this great firm and this coveted position, and I realize I'm not happy. And the thought crossed my mind at a certain point, was I just gonna leave? Was I just gonna, quit and spend my time trying to find myself? But as you grow older, your risk becomes more and you have more responsibilities and you have a partner and you have, a mortgage, and it's not so easy to do that. So what I did instead was I just made up my mind to do everything I could in my spare time to find something else that I was gonna do. And that meant my weekends because I was working all the time. So any instance when I wasn't working, wherever I was either working on my resume, networking. I would go for coffee breaks when I should have been taking my lunch break to meet with people, to talk to them. I scoured the Ivy Alumni Network. I talked to people from my law school. I would literally go to the gym and change into appropriate clothes for a coffee meeting and then go back to work. And I just was determined to find what I wanted. And it took 7 months. It took a long time. And it can take longer, but I knew when I was in that interview, speaking to that person, I had done so much soul searching at that point that it was easy to identify that the next role was the one that was right for me. The best ones that I use is multitasking and working under pressure. I think when you're a university student, you always have 100 things going on at the same time. 6 of those are probably social issues, but the rest of them are very legitimate things from different classes, projects, and oftentimes you sometimes leave that stuff till the last minute and you're under pressure at that point. And your ability to deal with that pressure and just slowly work through your list to get things done is something that I've carried with me kind of throughout my life and very much from my Western days. Also, I've learned to interact with people of all different sorts and get along with people. I think at Western I was very social. I was on the social club at the time was called the Spur Society, and those are some of my greatest memories. And the best part of it was I just got to meet such a breadth of people and learn how to get along with them, because that's what you need to do when you're living in close quarters with a lot of people. So those are probably the best things that I learned. It's not actually the classroom skills, it's the other skills. The best advice I would have is to not get pigeonholed. And by that I mean, when we enter university, we only know about a handful of careers that have crossed our paths in the first, 20 or something years of our lives. I mean, less now at this point. And that's not a lot of experience. So you really need to think about all the jobs that are kind of under the surface. Don't just get stuck into the traditional fields or what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is interviewing for. The people that I see today who are the happiest, who really I envy sometimes, they're in jobs that I didn't even know existed coming out of Ivy, coming out of Western. Everybody was there fighting for, the iBanking jobs or consulting or accounting or whatever have you. And these people are in careers making more money than I think I could have ever dreamed of, working less than I work today, and truly happy with what they're doing. And when I ask them kind of what they've done, it's because they took a chance. They took a less conventional path. They took a less conventional job. Maybe no one knew what it was at the time, but they took it and they really did well at it. And they stuck with it and they kept kind of meeting people and learning more. So do that. Start now. Meet people who seem like they're happy, talk to them. It sounds cliche, but you really uncover career opportunities that might land you in a way better position than the traditional ones.